This is the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on January 31st, 2014. Our time is 8:44 in the morning Mountain. Radio show runs on your favorite radio stations. The shows are archived on Harold's websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Go to iTunes, have it on your portable device, type in World Financial Report on Radio. We go anywhere you do. Harold does daily market commentary on his websites. You can find it on the podcast site as well. As we tape today's show, do not forget, February the 5th, Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain, Harold's website, hsfineauctions.com, is going to hold an auction. And we have outstanding items that will be auctioned off: diamonds, gold and silver coins. We'll talk about it later in the show. Go to hsfineauctions.com right now. Take a look around and sign up for the auction February the 5th, 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern. Do not miss it. Well, the Fed did come out this week and taper another $10 billion, so they're printing $65 billion per month, still a lot of money. As a result, we're seeing strong concern out of the emerging markets when it comes to their liquidity. There were concerns about this before, that if the United States started to taper, it could have a serious effect on the emerging markets and their liquidity. And we're seeing that come into play in the last couple of weeks as we've been doing the show. Also, the stock markets of the world are starting to roll over. People say it's a correction. Other people say that this is as a result of the Fed tapering back the money, liquidity draining out of the system. And one not good sign, in my opinion, Walmart announcing this morning poor results. Their outlook not good as well. And Harold, obviously Walmart is a major corporation in the United States, around the world. If they're not doing well, that has to be a clear sign that the economy of the world can't be doing very well, because so many people shop at Walmart.
Isn't that crazy that one retailer can have that effect on the overall economic picture, not only here in the United States and in Canada, but all over the world? So the fact is, and the saying goes, as goes Walmart, as goes the economy. And the fact is that the stock market, as we're taping the show this Friday morning, is down 220 points. So over the last week and a half, we've seen a 1,000-point drop in the Dow. That's how quickly these markets can reverse, especially when a market like the Dow has been held higher and made to go to record levels with no fundamental reason. It was all because of quantitative easing, and now is another strong example as they try to taper and end quantitative easing, how the markets are going to react. And it's always been my contention and my belief that if they didn't interfere and the Federal Reserve didn't print $85 billion a month putting back into the bond, stock, and mortgage-backed security markets, that we would have actually seen the Dow below 10,000. And that's where the Dow should be trading, below 10,000. Again, it's literally impossible to have a record in the S&P 500 and absolutely no growth in the economy. But that's the sign of the times. That's what's been going on in the economy as the Federal Reserve and the federal government here in the United States tries to right the ship. A 1,000-point drop in basically 10 days, and that's what's happening in the Dow as we speak. We're down over 200 points. But it's not only the Dow that's falling. It's many of the stock markets all around the world. The TSX, the Toronto Stock Exchange, is down 120 points this morning, trading at 13,600. The Nikkei has been plummeting lately. Is down another 92 points this morning at 14,914. Crude oil has been very strong. It's holding in at around the $98 level. We're still very bullish on crude oil. We think that crude oil this year in 2014 is going to trade upwards of the $100 to possibly $120 level, and that's just under a normal market trading. If anything happens to happen in the Middle East, then all bets are off, and that market could go to 150 or higher. The gold market has been trying to break a very important resistance level of 1276, and every time it gets to that price, it tends to fall off, and it did that again this week. We're trading right at the 1276 level in gold. We had one close right at that level. We couldn't get a second close, and then the market backed off and dropped about $20-$25. As we're taping the show this morning, the price of gold is trading right now basically up $3 on the day. We're trading at 1247. Again, it's extremely important over the short term that we break that 1276 level, have two closes above that level, and then we could see some extremely strong moves coming in the gold market. Again, we're bullish on gold. We have been for a long, long time. We've been bullish on gold since 1999 when it was trading at $250. And the market made gigantic moves. By 2011, we saw $1,920 in gold, and again, there was strong reasons for that. Not only technically in the market, but fundamentally also because gold is a signal that the economy is not doing well. So why all of a sudden has gold dropped substantially? We've gone over that many, many times. It's a manipulated market that the governments around the world felt that high prices in gold was going to thwart any type of recovery, especially in the United States, and they've done everything they can to bring down that market. However, the market is still trading in a bullish stance. We have not been bearish on this gold market, even though we've seen gold drop from 1920 down to that 1276 level, and even a little bit lower, went to 1180. We still believe that gold is a very viable market and it's going to go substantially higher. See, they played around with the gold market a lot over the last few years, and the fact is that there are two separate markets for gold. Even though gold is gold, the fact is that there's a physical gold market and then there's a paper gold market. And the paper gold market is a problem because the fact is that with paper gold, meaning futures contracts, options, ETFs, those type of things, they're supposed to be backed by physical gold. And so much gold was actually purchased during the particular time of 2010, 2011, at that point, and 2011, when all of this happened, when they dropped the market, at that particular point, there was so much gold purchased, paper-wise, and it's supposed to be backed by physical gold, and that wasn't the case. And that's why they dropped the price of gold so substantially, because they couldn't match up the warehouse stocks. There was way too much gold purchased in paper assets like futures contracts and ETFs, but they're supposed to be backed by physical gold, and there is not enough physical gold around for that to happen. So basically, here's what was in the newsletter, and I'm going to try my best to explain it to you so you understand, because it's a little bit technical. But basically, in the gold section of the newsletter this week, they talk about something brewing in the gold market. Don't look now, but the physical gold shortage is growing. Everyone knows that J.P. Morgan is one of the biggest gold holders on the planet. They store gold for themselves and other banks. On Thursday, J.P. Morgan, reported the single largest withdrawal in history at 321,500 ounces. Actually, it was a tie with December 13, 2012, when exactly the same amount, 321,500 ounces, were also withdrawn from the COMEX. Now, registered gold in J.P. Morgan vaults has fallen to the lowest levels in history at 87,000 ounces. Registered gold at all COMEX warehouses has hit a new low of 400,000 ounces. Now, COMEX claims there is a huge 92 owners per registered ounces today. Registered ounces are available for delivery to settle futures contracts. In other words, the registered ounces are all that is backing up the existing futures contracts. Now, again, that sounds extremely confusing, but basically every futures contract and every exchange-traded fund in gold and in silver has got to be backed by the equivalent amount of physical gold and silver, and that isn't happening. They go on to say that since the majority of futures contracts are never held until delivery, there are tens of thousands more contracts than actual gold. So if everyone suddenly began demanding delivery of the gold futures contracts, we would be in serious trouble. On January the 17th, there were roughly 500,000 registered ounces. At that time, there was 111.6 owners per ounce, which again is ridiculous. There are currently 41,309 million ounces being traded through futures contracts. 41,309,000. That's the paper gold market, not the physical gold market. Where else in America could we be trading, listen to this, 41 million ounces of futures contracts in gold against 500,000 ounces of actual physical? So obviously, if only a fraction of holders of those futures contracts began demanding delivery, the price of gold would be substantially higher. We are currently seeing all-time lows in registered gold and all-time highs in claims against that gold. What's wrong with this picture? And then it goes on to much more detail. So you've got to read that, because basically it doesn't make any sense. Because the fact is that nobody's going to take, not everybody is going to take physical delivery of gold. But the fact is that there are so many multi-hundred millions of ounces of gold purchased in paper contracts, but nowhere near that amount to support it, which is totally illegal. Because the fact is, in the rules of the COMEX exchange, set up by the Commodity Exchange Act, is that every futures contract has to be backed by the equivalent amount of physical gold or silver, or in any futures contract, mind you. And that's not being done at this point. You know, it also reminds me of what happened back in 2008 when the banking situation happened and the markets plummeted and everything hit at that particular time. You know, we found out that the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Company in the United States, when they raised insurance on bank accounts in the United States, it used to be that you had insurance up to $100,000. If you had $100,000 in the bank, you were insured for that $100,000. But if you had $200,000 in the bank, you were only insured up to $100,000. When the banking system also almost crashed in 2008, what they did is they raised it to $250,000. So every bank account in the United States is guaranteed up to $250,000. However, the fact is that if you look at the money that the FDIC has in reserve, it's nowhere close to the umpteen trillions of dollars that are sitting in savings accounts. So if the system did fail, there's nowhere near enough money to back up all the money that's sitting in savings accounts in the United States. And that's the exact same situation that is now happening in gold. There's nowhere near enough physical gold or physical silver to come close to backing up the futures contracts and the ETF contracts. And that's where, when you hear about short covering in the gold market and things like that, it means that the people that are short the market, also what they're going to have to do is buy back their contracts eventually when something bullish happens in the market. Now, there's several bullish things that are happening in the market for gold and silver. It's just that the markets are being suppressed at this particular point because, again, higher gold and silver prices send the wrong indication that the economy is not improving. You don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to understand what's happening in the world economies right now. Not only do we have problems in all of the markets where the stock markets around the world are plummeting, but the fact is that the banking situation never got any better. You know, the fact is that you don't hear a lot about the banks right now, but don't forget back in 2008, most of the banks in the United States were underwater, and they still are. Those things have not changed. But now you're starting to see situations happening around the world. We all remember what happened with Cyprus last year, how frightening it is to learn that when the Bank of Cyprus closed, they took half of the depositors' money, and with the other half, they gave them worthless bank stock. Well, do you realize that this week in China, one of their major banks closed and nobody could get their money out of that bank in China? In fact, things are not so rosy in China anymore, and that could be a very serious area coming forward, that we're going to see some serious problems coming out of China. And now we're finding out that one of their major banks is not able to pay back depositors. And if that's not bad enough, in England, they're putting limits on actual withdrawals, meaning that you're allowed to take out £5,000. Now they want to know what that money is going to be used for. Now, where is that going? And then on top of that, in Russia, they're not accepting or sending out international wires. So what's now happening in the banking system? You know, we've got all these situations going on, and we knew we were on thin ice all the way through. Everything that's been done by the Federal Reserve and the U.S. government was done out of desperation to try to right the ship. And again, I certainly appreciate the fact that they did what they did. The fact is, if they didn't step in and take these ballsy type of moves, we would have been in way worse trouble than we are right now. But because most of the things that the Federal Reserve and the U.S. government tried to do, which ultimately is create new jobs, get people back to work, so they're paying taxes, spending money, and the economy recovers that way. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. Because the fact is that the unemployment numbers are nothing but a total lie. The U.S. government is saying the unemployment numbers are at 6.8%, where the real numbers are sitting closer to 25 or 30%. And the same situation is in Europe. So, again, the recovery didn't happen. It's not happening. It's happened somewhat because they put trillions of dollars back into the marketplace. But the recovery is not happening the way that they anticipated, and now all this money has got to be started paying back, and other situations are going to start to unfold, and that's where we're going to start to see these rallies coming in the secondary markets like gold, silver, diamonds, those type of situations. So, again, my strongest recommendation is that nothing has been accomplished or settled by printing all this money and putting it back into the market. And the fundamentals are going to show that the U.S. economy, along with the European economy and the Chinese economy, is going to go negative. And it's going to go negative in a big way, and that's why we have to continue to hold on to our gold and silver holdings. Because gold and silver, you don't trade them. You buy it, and you hold on to it as a hedge against all the bad things that are coming forward. So if you're one of the ones that believe that the stock market is a place to have your money and the banks are fine and the economy is improving and everything is great, then go ahead and stick with your paper assets. But if you're in the know and you read the newsletters and you understand what's happening in the financial world at this point, you should be very concerned about where your money is sitting at this particular point. I don't have a penny sitting in the paper asset markets. Nothing in stocks, nothing in bonds, nothing in anything that could be lost in the markets that is going to happen going forward. Every one of my assets are hard assets that I own outright that are in my possession. My physical gold, my physical silver, and my physical diamonds. Everything is paid for, everything is put away, and everything is safe. And that's what we have to do going forward. We saw over the last 10 days a 1,000-point drop in the Dow. That's nothing that could happen. Don't forget, in 2008, we saw 14,000 Dow go down to 6,500. Don't think that those days are far away from happening again.
You need an insurance policy in your portfolio, and we advocate hard assets, gold and silver. There's only one company Harold recommends you use, a Canadian company. Out of Vancouver, BC, leading Canadian precious metals bullion dealer, recommended by Harold for over 10 years. Worldwide Precious Metals, they're the experts to trust and work with in this very specialized market. And one thing that's important to them is educating you. Start your own precious metals investment account today. All gold is allocated either wholesale or premium. They can explain that to you. They're there to help you maximize the profit, minimize your risk, and you will have instant liquidity in and out of the market with just a phone call. 24/7 online access. The metal can be stored on your behalf, insured to the full value of your investment. Ask about domestic or foreign storage and premium storage in specific coin and bar form. Stored metal is outside the banking system, and that is so important. Let Worldwide explain that to you. They have physical precious metals, the hard asset you need. Start your own precious metals investment account today. Connect with them at 1-866-623-2002. The website is wwpmc.com. And I would encourage you to get our free weekly newsletter. It's the companion to our radio show. It will put you on the exact same page that Harold and I are, and we are doing the radio show. You'll see the same stories. Everything that we're reading, you will be reading as well. Worldwide will be happy to send that out to you via email free of charge every week. wwpmc.com, 1-866-623-2002. One of the more, we look at this as an overreaching type story. Ambrose Evans Pritchard says, world risks deflationary shock as BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, puncture credit bubbles. As matters stand, the next recession will push the Western economy and economic system over the edge into deflation. Half of the world economy is one accident away from a deflationary trap. The International Monetary Fund says the probability may be now as high as 20%. It's a remarkable state of affairs that the G2 monetary superpowers, the United States and China, should both be tightening into such a 20% risk, meaning they're pulling back liquidity. Though no doubt they have concluded that asset bubbles are becoming an even bigger danger. And this is what the challenge is going forward for the Fed in the United States. Janet Yellen, the new Fed head, is how do you unwind all this liquidity without popping massive bubbles and creating a stock market that literally could be plummeting every day. And even in the United States and around the world, there is real estate bubbles in China, in Australia. Countries around the world have massive real estate bubbles, and if those bubbles go pop, people are going to feel pain. How do they draw liquidity out of the system without causing those bubbles to burst? That will be the big question, and that's why we advocate having hard assets. Now, Paul Singer, he's a hedge fund manager. He was asked here recently, Bitcoin over gold, are you crazy? Singer is shocked by Bitcoin's rise, especially given gold's fall. He says there is no reason to believe that Bitcoin will stand the test of time other than that governments will protect the value of government-created money, although Bitcoin is newer, and we always look at babies with hope. Singer wrote in a letter to investors of his $23.3 billion Elliott Management on Jan 27. If you want an alternative currency, check out gold. It has stood the test of thousands of years as a store of value and a medium of exchange. Better yet, it is not just a computer entry in the ether somewhere, and it's currently available at a good price. Bitcoin and its relatives represent an understandable impulse, anti-big government, pro-freedom, pro-modernity, but we do not see how it actually survives. At least with gold, you have to work really hard to dig up the stuff. Singer used a separate section in his investor newsletter to reiterate the bullish case for gold. We think that gold is a unique investment asset, the only real money that has stood the test of time throughout recorded history. With its durability, finite and difficult to extract supply, and natural allure, it's a store of value that should be particularly attractive at a time when monetary debasement is the major policy practice by most developed countries to keep their economies afloat. Singer believes that gold will be back in favor soon. If the global economy recovers strongly without a significant uptick in inflation, then gold might continue to be a neglected asset class. But low growth and high inflation are typical hallmarks of structurally unsound economies experiencing monetary debasement. So perhaps this next phase is, or soon to appear, Singer says, we shall see. That is the next uptick in gold and silver. Now's the time to start your own precious metals investment account. Speak with Worldwide Precious Metals. WWPMC.com is their website. The telephone number 1-866-623-2002. Going to come back and talk about diamonds and hsfineauctions.com with their February the 5th auction. We'll talk about that and more as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on January 31st, 2014. Our time is 9:09 Mountain. Radio show runs on your favorite radio stations. Also, the shows are archived. You can stream them. Harold's websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Have iTunes on your portable device. Type in World Financial Report on Radio. You can subscribe to the podcast. We're portable. We go anywhere you do. You can listen to the show any place, anytime, anywhere. Harold does daily market commentary, too, on his two websites, and you can find it on the podcast site as well. Harold only recommends one company, and that is Worldwide Precious Metals. The telephone number to connect with them, 1-866-623-2002. The website is wwpmc.com. His website for diamonds, world famous, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. It's like a museum online for the world's greatest naturally fancy colored diamonds, rare diamonds, colored diamonds, even white diamonds. The telephone number to connect personally and privately with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. The website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Now, hsfineauctions.com is Harold's auction site. The next auction is coming up this week, February the 5th at 8 Eastern and 6 Mountain. And we have an outstanding array of items that will be auctioned off. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Our featured diamond of the week, and this is a diamond you'll find on rarecoloreddiamonds.com, is a 1.20 carat cushion-cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. And when you see this video, you can find it on rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Click on the featured diamond of the week. It will take you through to the video. We have a picture of it in our newsletter as well. Take a look at this diamond. It is spectacular. The cut is amazing. It is so vibrant and vivid. It is a must-have as an investment in your diamond portfolio. If you've not started a diamond portfolio, in addition to your other assets, speak with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com or 1-800-432-1022 to start your diamond portfolio today. But Harold, we're very excited about the auction coming up on February 5th. We invite everyone who listens to our radio show all around the world to go there and sign up for the auction. It is going to be another great 2014 for hsfineauctions.com.
Well, thank you very much, Rand. I'm very excited about it. Again, the auction business is extremely important because we're building this business for our clients to be able to sell their diamonds down the road. Obviously, at this point here, diamonds are a buy, so everybody's buying. Most of the pieces that are up there are from my personal collection. It's the theme of it basically is Valentine's Day. It's been written up in several publications over the last month, and many media sources have picked up the fact that we're having a Valentine's Day auction coming up on the 5th. We're going to start the auction off with some beautiful gold and silver pieces. According to our clients that we've taken surveys from, they love the opportunity to buy physical metal in coin form, and that's what we bring to you, some of the most beautiful pieces. Again, these pieces are from my private collection. Very few people are selling these at this point because, again, we anticipate prices will go up substantially. But there are a couple pieces that are just absolutely amazing. I mean, we're going to start off with smaller, less expensive pieces, but the finished numismatic collector coin is both gold and silver in the same coin. Face value of 50 euros. It's just an absolutely beautiful piece. You can see that on our website. Then there's a religious piece, two of them actually coming up, the Pope, the Prophet of Peace. It's a silver ingot. It's really beautiful. We've auctioned one or two of these off in the past, and they've been very, very popular. And then we've also got another beautiful set, which is a pure gold and silver coin set commemorating Pope John Paul's 25th nomination anniversary. Estimated value is at $500. So again, it's in a lot of people's comfort level, but it's a beautiful, beautiful piece to own and one of the more difficult pieces to get. There's a platinum set coming up for auction. Platinum is a very valuable metal. This happens to be an Australian Koala 2003 proof set. It's magnificent. Then one of my favorite pieces of all from my private collection, it's the Wildcats of Africa Cheetah collection. And it's basically 4 magnificent solid gold 24-karat gold coins. They are absolutely stunning. One of my favorite pieces that absolutely breaks my heart to sell this, but again, it's for the good of the auction business, and that's what we're building. And then the pièce de résistance, more than likely, is the diamond eye snake kilo silver coin. It weighs 2.2 pounds, 1 kilo of pure silver, 999.9 silver. It's got a little yellow diamond in the eye. It's the year of the snake. It's one of the most beautiful pieces, and this piece goes all the way back to 2001, so it's 13 years old, and the price on this has done nothing but go up. The estimated value is in the $4,500 to $5,000 range. There's a beautiful, gorgeous, vivid yellow diamond ring. It is stunning. All you have to do is watch the video of it. Vivid yellow diamonds are one of the best investments you can make. In actual fact, over the last 2 years, the rough diamonds that come out of the mines that equate to vivid yellows have doubled in price. That's how rare they are, and that's how difficult it is to get a vivid yellow flawless diamond today. Then we're going to start with our Argyle pinks. We've got the smaller ones at the beginning, but the very rare rounds and ovals are there. There's a 31-point fancy intense purple pink Argyle round. There's a magnificent light pink diamond ring. It's stunning, surrounded by other pink diamonds. And those little pink millies that go around this diamond, they went from $800 a carat to $10,000 a carat in 1 year. And this is loaded with those type of diamonds. Estimated value is $120,000. To get a pink diamond over a carat is extremely rare, and this is one of the most beautiful ones you'll ever see. The starting price is $55,000. This diamond will sell, and it is an amazing diamond ring. Then we start to get into our bigger pinks, our 33-point oval, fancy intense purple pink, our 33-point round, and then one of the rarest diamonds in the world is going to come up for sale. It's a pure orange diamond. Very, very seldom does an orange diamond that's pure ever become available for sale. We know we saw a few months ago the most outrageous vivid pink that was supposed to sell for $17 million and sold for $35 million. This is nowhere near the size of that diamond. It's a .35. Again, I doubt we'll ever see another orange diamond ever close to 15 carats. In fact, it's very, very rare ever to get an orange diamond, let alone one that's over a carat. This is a .35. It's a cushion cut, so it's got the rounded edges to it, so it looks like it's closer to a carat in size. It's the most beautiful color that you could ever imagine. Look at the video on it. It's $150,000 estimated value. The starting price is $30,000. This is definitely a diamond that you want to own. When you look at the video of a pure orange diamond, you'll understand how rare it is. Basically, orange is a combination of yellow and red, two very, very rare diamonds. Then we get into our bigger pinks, our 40-point round, fancy intense pink. Then you've got the 43-point radiant cut, absolutely stunning, worth $80,000. You got a 45-point round, brilliant, fancy, intense, purplish pink Argyle, worth $110,000. Going to start the bidding at $25,000. There's going to be some amazing deals out there. And again, I'm very, very excited. We should have probably 400 people worldwide attending this auction. That's how popular these auctions are becoming. And then probably the one that a lot of people will be looking for, especially for Valentine's Day, it's a 101 carat light pink heart-shaped diamond valued at $110,000. Starting price is $35,000. Again, these diamonds, especially the larger pinks, are amongst the best investments you could possibly make. So we're very, very excited about this auction. It's going to be attended by worldwide clients. And we added a new feature, and basically people can now attend our auction without actually attending it. If you're not able to be there, you can use our automated bidding service, and we've had 11 people so far put in bids on pieces that they're not going to be able to attend the auction. That's how popular this new feature is becoming. So, Randy, the diamond business in general is just doing tremendously well. It's going to do even better as we move forward, because we're now starting to see banking problems again. And people get very nervous when they have their money in the bank and the banks aren't solid. But to put money into a fancy colored diamond, especially the type of diamonds that never lose their value, that's probably one of the most important situations at this time. It's capital preservation. Owning something that's not going to lose value. We've seen a 1,000-point drop in the Dow basically in about a week and a half. Back in 2008, we saw the Dow drop more than 50%. In 1999, we saw similar situations. You don't want to keep your money in the type of assets that you could lose it all. And that's what's happening in the marketplaces right now. You need to own the type of assets that are portable private wealth, like a diamond. A yellow flawless diamond will increase by 15% a year and never declines in value. A $20,000 yellow diamond today will be worth about $80,000 in 10 years from now. So again, these are the type of assets you want to own. The reason that we're putting up Argyle Pinks on the auction site is because Argyle Pinks are amongst the best investments you could ever make. Not only are they very rare and very difficult to get, but the fact is that the mine that produces them, 95% of them, is going to close soon. And in 6 years, when that mine closes, these diamonds can increase 8 to 10 times what the prices are today. So what's wrong with putting $50,000 into an Argyle Pink and in 10 years from now, we could sell that diamond for you in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. I know of no other investments that will give you the return of some of these fancy colored diamonds, and again, you're talking about assets that never decline in value. The other thing is you're seeing big changes in currency lately. You've seen the Canadian dollar drop from being above the American dollar to being even with the American dollar to being down by 12%. The Canadian dollar has plummeted, especially if you go to Europe and you are in London, and basically you would find that the Canadian and American dollars are so weak at this point that the British pound is worth about 50% more than those two currencies. And the euro, which is a doomed currency, is worth about 30% more than our currency. So the fact is that to own an asset that could be sold in British pounds, or it could be sold in euros, or it could be sold in currencies that are stronger than the Canadian and American dollar is what we bring to the table. And that's why we'll be able to hold auctions down the road in Dubai, in Panama, in Hong Kong, and mostly in Europe, where we can pick up a stronger currency. Again, the currency can change your profit potential dramatically if you don't know what you're doing. And again, I've traded the currency markets for the last 35 years. So again, Randy, we're extremely excited about the auction coming up. It's going to be very, very popular. And even though the Canadian dollar is a little on the weak side, the fact is that these diamonds are priced right, and our clients that do invest in them should make an awful lot of money. I'm extremely excited about what's coming forward in diamonds.
We found with these auctions there have been some amazing bargains and great values come out of them. And as Canadians, well, the truth of the matter is we're just used to having a weaker Canadian currency. We were just lucky there for a while that we were at par, but we're pretty used to it. So it's something I don't think anyone should be concerned about. hsfineauctions.com is the website. Next auction, February the 5th, 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern. And I should reiterate, go there and take a look at the catalog. We have a link to the catalog in our free weekly newsletter. Get our free weekly newsletter from Harold. Connect with him, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. You can speak with Harold personally and privately about your financial situation and let him educate you about rare colored diamonds. And our featured diamond of the week, it is a stunning, stunning diamond, one that would be an outstanding investment, a 1.20 carat cushion cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. You can see it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. One thing I wanted to mention, and I think this is important to note about the Pope coins that are going to be offered at auction. This is Pope John Paul II. This is not Benedict or our current Pope Francis, but Pope John Paul, the prophet of peace. And I remember when we were offering these sets and these coins in the past, they went very, very quickly, and they were much coveted, and I know that they're very difficult to get now. And anybody that has them will only part with them for a small fortune. So we're very lucky to have these in the auction coming up on Wednesday. Also, this weekend, it's the year of the snake to the year of the horse. It's the Chinese New Year. And one of the things that we should note, as Harold mentioned, the Diamond Eye Snake Kilo coin for the year of the snake, the lunar year of the snake. We just are coming out of the year of the snake. And if you're interested in that coin, that's something to consider as well. We were in the year of the snake into the year of the horse. That will be a coveted coin as well. Harold, just very excited about rare colored diamonds and obviously the coins that we have at auction. People should remember, next auction Wednesday, February 5th, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. You can go there, sign up. And one of the things that we stressed in the past is that you do not have to make a bid. Don't feel any pressure to make a bid. Just get in there, see how it works, get comfortable. Then when you feel comfortable and you want to make a move, then obviously you can do that on the item that you want. Harold, I know that it's a lot of fun for you because you're the auctioneer. You're sitting there for, and we should mention too, this doesn't go on for 5 hours. It goes on for roughly an hour and a half. And you put your heart and soul into these auctions. You're there, you're the auctioneer for about an hour and a half. And by the time that you're done, you are really physically spent because it's very taxing, but at the same time, very exciting.
It is, and I appreciate you saying that, Rand. But the fact is that I think this is our biggest contribution to the diamond business, because there's a lot of investors out there that own smaller diamonds. Diamonds in the 20, 30, 50, 100,000 range with no place to sell them. And that's why we built H. Siegel Fine Auctions, because it does exactly that. And when we were talking about building the site, I was insistent on it being live, because the fact is, and that was the most difficult thing, is producing producing it so I could actually sell, and it wasn't a streaming video type of thing. So our technology is second to none. It took 2 years to build this, and it's been featured on some of the biggest media circles in the world, like Bloomberg. The reason that we've been on Bloomberg 3 times in the last 6 months was primarily because of our auction business. So again, we built this as a secondary market to resell diamonds. It's never been done before. The fact is that we've held several auctions. All are very, very successful. In fact, in most cases, we sell 90 to 100% of all the pieces that we put up. Again, in this particular auction, most of the pieces up there are from my personal collection, because I don't know very many people that are selling their diamonds at this particular point. It's more a matter of buying and holding, because we're buying them because of what the economy is doing. And the economy moving forward is going to get into trouble, and diamonds are going to save your life financially. Believe me, they're phenomenal investments. And again, if the currency markets start to get extremely volatile, we have the opportunity to deal in other currencies. It's a very exciting situation. But it's true what Randy said. When you go onto our website and you sign up for the auction, you fill in your pertinent information, then the day of the auction, on the 5th, we are going to email to you the link that you're going to need to get onto the site. So once you get the link, a half an hour before, just download the link. It'll take just a few minutes, and then you'll see the whole screen, our whole website, come to life, and we'll start to count down, and then at exactly 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain, that's when the auction is going to start. I'll welcome everybody, I'll read the rules and regulations, and then we start. We're going to start with the coins first, then we're going to get into the diamonds, and it's going to be very, very exciting. It's not like an eBay type of site where you sit there and type in. We actually sell every piece, and it's very, very thrilling. So I'm looking forward to everybody attending. Again, as Randy said, you can either attend and participate, or you can attend and watch for the first few times till you're comfortable. But I can assure you, you're going to get into this. It's very exciting. It's addicting. A lot of the pieces are not overly expensive. So, again, you can buy a gold coin for $500 or $1,000 and get something of tremendous value. Again, I'm very much looking forward to February the 5th when we do this phenomenal auction.
Now, is this auction number 14 for us, Harold?
Yes, it is.
So number 14, we've had 14 under our belt, and each one gets better and better and better. And there's been some people that have walked away with outstanding value for what they invested, because the auction does obviously give people a chance to bid back and forth, and there's some incredible value that can be derived if you know what you're bidding on. Next auction, Wednesday, February 5th, obviously 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Go to hsfineauctions.com and sign up for the auction today. Harold was speaking about being on Bloomberg, and I did include in our newsletter, and Harold can send it to you, the 2 interviews that he did on Bloomberg Television. And Bloomberg, obviously a worldwide service similar to CNBC that is all over the world, that deals on financial matters, a financial channel. And they are on all the different platforms on television across Canada, obviously on your smartphone, your tablet. They're on. They have a website, Bloomberg.com, that we obviously use from time to time for stories. And betting on hard assets, investing in diamonds. Rare Color Diamonds founder and CEO Harold Siegel discusses the company's growth with Carol Masser on Bloomberg's Money Moves. We have that video for you to watch. Also, our Colored Diamonds and Investors' Best Friend. Rare Color Diamonds founder and CEO Harold Siegel explains explains to Deirdre Bolton why colored diamonds have a great track record when it comes to investing, and he spoke on Bloomberg Television's Money Moves yet again. So you can see, Harold, we have the credibility. Obviously, you brought this to our attention back in August of 2005. You've been the worldwide leader when it comes to people investing in rare diamonds. You took it to the next level by starting the auction site, which no one else has, hsfineauctions.com, and you've been on Bloomberg. You've been interviewed around the world on different platforms, obviously radio, television, and in magazine. So we know that the success is there. That's why we encourage people to be a part of it, because we've got a proven track record here when it comes to offering people quality at outstanding prices.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Again, I take a lot of pride in what we have, and we have some of the most amazing diamonds that you've ever seen. We've got collections that defy description. You know, we've been on the radio now for 600 shows, and again, we brought diamonds to you about 10 years ago when nobody even knew what colored diamonds were, and our business has grown and grown, and it has become so popular that when we started 10 years ago, there was no firms around that did what we do. Now there's got to be 20 that are in a similar business to us. So again, it's a very popular business. People are really loving getting into the diamond business because, again, you've got a tangible, hard asset that does extremely well, especially during these trying times. And the most important thing is the beauty of these diamonds. When you hold one of our diamonds in your hand, what comes over you is something that you've never felt before, because you've never seen something like this before. A yellow flawless diamond, an argyle pink diamond, a blue diamond, an orange diamond, a green diamond. They take your breath away. And again, we're making the market for you. We're starting to build our business, so down the road our clients will be able to sell their diamonds. It's a major undertaking. Again, you've got to educate people, and that's what we're also doing on our website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a learning center. It's almost finished. We're actually going to have a course that you can take so you can learn all about diamonds before you invest. I've always been a firm believer that an informed and educated investor is a smarter investor and will be more comfortable investing once they know what they're doing. So we have a course. It's almost finished. It'll be done in about 2 weeks, and you'll be able to take it free of charge. Even get a diploma from us when you pass it. So again, we've got a lot of great things coming up, but the diamond business is on fire, and the worse the economy gets around the world, the better and better our clients are going to do.
And I think one thing I can honestly say, for Harold and his family, this is a passion. This is a way of life. They love the diamond business. They eat, sleep, and breathe it. For a lot of the other people, they're just copycatting Harold because they think, oh, well, this is, another way to make some money. They don't have the passion for it. They don't have the connections, and they really don't have the vision. If they did, they would have brought it to you back in 2005 the way Harold did. The truth is they're just riding on his coattails, and they're copycats. They can't do what Harold has done through rarecoloreddiamonds.com or even his auction site. And the reason I say that, it sort of frustrates me at times. But then again, as Harold always says too, somebody starts up a successful burger company, then somebody's going to copycat it. That's just the way life is. But no one has a passion for diamonds the way Harold Siegel does. I can verify that 100%. Harold, people can speak with you personally and privately about their financial situation and let them educate you. Obviously, you'll educate them about the ins and outs of this diamond market. We have about 30 seconds left here.
You bet, Randy. Again, it's a very exciting field. Again, it's something that our clients love, and it's the market of the times. Again, we're in very difficult times, and this is one of the best assets you could buy. I'm very, very excited for the auction coming up on the 5th.
Well, thank you very much, Harold Siegel. Any predictions for Super Bowl Sunday?
I love the Denver Broncos.
There you go. The Broncos. And, for my uncle, who's a Seattle Seahawks fan, I'm a Packer fan. So I'm like, hey, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see a good football game. The Packers aren't in there, so I'm heartbroken. And Harold's a huge New England fan, so it's tough for him too. But I'll have to go with Seattle for my uncle who lives in Vancouver, who is desperate to see them win. Thank you very much, Harold.
It's my pleasure. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend, a great Super Bowl, and a very profitable day.
Speak with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022, auction site, hsfineauctions.com. Connect with them Wednesday night, 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern, for an outstanding auction, number 14. And then when it comes to precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, only one company Harold recommends, Worldwide Precious Metals. WWPMC.com. Their website tells you everything you need to know. Go there now or connect with them at 1-866-623-2002. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.